Good evening everyone, this is Pete W here filling in tonight for Sweeney, who unfortunately couldn't make tonight. So we are going to be I'm going to do my best to try and do as good as a job as Sweeney does. I can't promise, but I'm going to give it a go. So we're going to be doing, as always, with the OBF1 Racing League. We're going to have a short 18-minute qualifying followed by a 50% race. Now this is round 12 and is going to be taking place at the Hungary ring in Budapest, Hungary. So we will be getting going shortly in about 5 minutes or so. So just stay with us. Hope you're going to enjoy the commentary tonight and we will get going very shortly. Thanks very much, guys. Okay guys, thanks so much for tuning in. You can see we've got 5 people online watching, so thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, we will be getting going in just a couple of minutes. We've got all the drivers in the lobby now, so gonna get ready and just give the instruction to everyone to ready up in just a moment. As you can see, the drivers are now starting to ready up and we will shortly be getting going with this 18-minute qualifying here at the Hungary ring. It's going to be interesting. Let's see what sort of weather we're going to be treated to here today in round 12 of the OBF1 Friday Night Racing League. We've got going to have some really interesting battles here tonight. I think, as we all know, the Hungary ring is one of the hardest tracks on the calendar to make any passes at, so I definitely think we're going to see a couple of DRS zones primarily in the first sector. Obviously you've got the DRS activation point at the end of sector 3 leading down the front straight into turn 1, and then the next DRS straight just after that up towards turn 2. So those are our only, if I remember correctly, our DRS points. I think there might be another one in sector 2 as well, just the end of sector 2, start of sector 3. But I think we're going to see most of the overtaking happening in those first 2 straights at the start of the lap. But first things first, let's get qualifying sorted. We've got the full grid. We've got 20 drivers here to race for the OBF1 League tonight. should be fun, should be exciting. We've got a couple of new drivers on the grid as well, so welcome to Chuckle Brothers, and also to, who was the other driver, because my connection literally just dropped there. Ghost Riddles. So that's Ghost Riddles and Chuckle Brothers. Welcome to the OBF1 League, guys. Hope you enjoy racing tonight, and we shall see how you guys crack on against our championship leaders, namely Max, Little Jim, and I believe Short Marcus, who is now currently in 3rd position. And what would you have it? We have got a kind of wet, I'm going to say kind of wet qualifying. It's not pouring down. Our Inter's going to have to be used. I guess we'll see what the drivers choose. They're going to have much more information than we are. But if it is going to be an intersession, I can imagine the drivers are going to want to get out quick. And we're already seeing drivers take out onto the track. Is that iHarv? Yep, iHarv being the first out on track, wanting to get a lap in. This is about a 1:20 circuit in the dry. So let's see how they do in the wet. Excuse me. So yeah, as we can already see, already 7 drivers out on track, not wanting to waste any time whatsoever in getting that first lap in. Like I said, got an 18-minute session here, so that time is going to come down very quickly. This to me tells me it is going to be the weather is not looking to improve at the course over the course of qualifying. So let's see what the race does bring us, but I think it will be full inters for the duration of qualifying. Obviously, why set a lap if you don't need to, possibly with damaging or retiring your car if it's going to dry up during quali. But we will stay on board with iHarv. Is about to start his flying lap. I'm just getting the driver standings up, and currently, yep, so I think the most interesting battles right now are the battles between 3rd and 7th, just 20 points separating Short Marcus, iHarv, Chris Emu, who's really found some momentum recently, a podium and a 4th place finish as iHarv loses his end plate coming out of the last corner. Ghost Riddles has also retired, so our debutant has retired out of what looks like the end of sector 1. I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but it looks like he's lost his front left wheel, so he will be starting from the back of the grid. Drivers already really struggling with this weather, so let's have a look. Who do we keep an eye on? So we've got a Haas out in front. I'm going to say, is that Max? No, it's going to be Paul Harrison then. So let's sit on board with Paul Harrison. He's going to set a 30.274 for sector 1. Nice line there, not too hard coming through turn, I believe that's turn 7, through the chicane. I think key thing here is just to set a banker lap. Hopefully as more grip is laid on the track, which these intermediate tyres will be able to do, the track will get faster with time, but right now you just want to get that banker lap in. Oh, great hold there by Paul not to lose it through that second turn, through that last corner of the second sector. Playing it nice and calmly there as we come to penultimate corner now, the long left-hander. Good line there, got a bit too much of it, got a little bit of the curb, and that just, I think, made him have to ease off slightly. And he's going to cross the line now. What is Paul going to be setting here? I think it's going to be around the 127.9. 127.9. So who is next? We got, wow, so Paul Harrison has already gone quicker than Little Gem. That's no mean feat there. So Paul Harrison currently our provisional pole leader, with Little Jim coming in behind him 4/10 and Sider Space 7/10 behind him in the Ferrari. So let's see, this could be a surprise. We've got a few drivers now on laps. Let's sit with our debutant Chuckle Brothers, as no surprise Max absolutely smashes it at 126.408. That is incredible in this weather. That is just absolutely incredible. Wow, 1.5 seconds up on the rest of the field. Chuckle Brothers coming through in a 1:04.4. If I remember correctly, that was very similar pace to Paul Harrison. Let's see where this is going to put him after the first round, so to speak. That brings him into 8th place with a 1:30.858. So I'm sure he'll be looking to improve on that. Let's have a look here. So I'm going to sit on board with Jonathan Cox. Jonathan had a really great race last week, if I remember correctly, picking up a podium position. Let's just have a look at the points there. Yeah, I think he picked up 15 points last week. So Jonathan will be looking to build on that and either improve or definitely try and get another podium. So let's see what is Jonathan able to produce here. As we can see, Paul Harrison has gone to within a second, or just over a second away from Max. Times are getting quicker. Short Marcus has gone into 3rd with a 1:27.8. Coming through the last turn now, Jonathan Cox getting off the throttle there a little bit. Coming through to the last turn, and what is Jonathan going to set coming through the start finish line? It's going to be a 1:26.854, only 0.2 of a second separating him and Matt. Jonathan definitely bringing his own game here, not messing about here, wanting to get many places up in the championship as possible. We're only halfway through. There is still a theoretical chance. So let's see what can Jonathan Cox and his friend FTH KRC, both brought in by Broke Gorilla. Thank you so much for that, Broke. We always welcome great quality drivers, and you've definitely brought us two here. So FTH, I'm guessing, might have come off the track, has gone 17 seconds slower, so he's down in 13th place, but I'm sure he's going to be going for another lap. Let's stick on board with FTH, see if he does. Already nearly halfway through qualifying. Wow, I mean, this is crazy. It's crazy. I think what I'm most surprised about is seeing Little Jim down in 7th place in the Renault. Oh, good recovery there by FTH. I thought he was going to lose it there. Already 10 seconds up, and I thought he was going to invalidate there, but it did not. Still got a lot of work to do now. See what he can get out of Sector 2. The problem with this track is we have got so many fast drivers. We've got so many. And it's such a short track, and it's so tight. Keeping out of other drivers' way is going to be a challenge, but seeing so many drivers do so well, it's a great thing to see here in this league. And as we come over this line, 14.4 seconds up, so still got some more work to do coming through this last sector for FTH if he's going to get anywhere up near his mate Jonathan. Locking it up into the ultimate corner, but hopefully that's going to give him a little bit more out of the turn and through the last corner. Now not getting to anywhere near the curb, wanting to make sure he's got plenty of space. As we see Kieran has spun it out of the last turn, and a 1:26.658, a third. That's 3rd place for FTH. So wow, okay, so we got iHav on a fast lap as well. iHav coming right round to the last corner now. What is iHav going to produce? I think this could be something special as well. I think this is definitely going to be top 4. Top 2. Just less than half a second behind Max. I think Max is definitely going to have to work hard today to get this win. So we are nearly halfway through qualifying. 2 drivers yet to come out, Break Gorilla and Wimax. 1 driver who has retired, Ghost Riddle, so he will be starting at the back of the grid. But yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see a really good battle. Top 4 just separated by 0.6 of a second. The racing points really coming on strong recently with iHav and his new teammate. So will they be able to make a bigger dash for the constructors? Currently sitting in 6th place in the constructors, but only 50 points behind the Ferrari team. Ferrari being represented today by Cyberspace as a full-time driver, and Martin is 69. They're currently sitting in 10th and 11th, but I mean the gap between 7th and 11th is just 0.8 of a second, which is nothing around here. So let's see what the second half of qualifying brings. I hope you're all enjoying the commentary. This is Pete W, filling in for Sweeney as best as I can. I hope I'm doing an okay job. And yeah, if you've got any comments, I have got the stream open, so the live chat, so please feel free to leave any comments. As we see Callum Jones losing it out of the last turn in sector 2. Wow, that was bad. Just asking the drivers who are watching, what is the quality of my picture looking like? It's looking okay on my phone, but I just want to get everyone else's feedback. Just let me know on the live chat, please. Thank you. I doubt it will at this time of night.
That's what they've just said.
Okay.
Up to an hour.
Okay. As wow, Jonathan Cox goes fastest, and Callum was spinning it in the pit lane, really struggling to get that car pack. But yet Jonathan going fastest there, having taken a going sub 126 first driver to do so. And Max straight out, not waiting. He's going for it. He's not going to sit and just wait. He's going for it. Will he go for 2 laps this time? I'm thinking maybe, as we see there is a yellow flag in sectors 1 and 2. I would presume a slow moving Red Bull. Yeah, that's Jonathan Cox coming back in for his last lap. So. Okay, so on track, who is the... Let's sit on board with CDM. CDM going for a fast lap, it looks like. Yep. As we come up towards the very tight, bendy section here at the Hungary ring, how is CDM going to tackle this? CDM looking to build on his... No, you haven't, Dad. Okay. Okay, Dad. It didn't seem that long, okay? So, regrouping. Sorry about that, guys. CDM coming through the last corner. Running very wide through the last corner. What is CDM going to be able to produce? This is not going to be an improvement, I don't think. It doesn't look like it. Stays in 8th position. Will he be going again, or will he come in to change his tyres? We shall see. There will be enough time to do so. As you can see, Paul Harrison jumping Little Jim up to 5th place. So currently the Racing Point sitting second, as 3rd and 4th there. Haas is sitting 2nd and 5th. And Renault's without an answer to them. Little Jim in 6th. CDM 2 seconds down on Jonathan Cox in 8th. Let's see if they're able to make something of it. I'm just looking there because it looked like Brett Gorilla was on a flying lap and he might have been impeded there by Paul Harrison, but I'm not sure. I'm sure if he was, Brett Gorilla will let us know in the instant reports. But yes, who else is out on track that may be of interest? Currently all 5 of our top drivers are out on track. We're going to sit on board with iHarv, who... Is Max on a fast lap? No, Max is on a fast lap, and wow, already half a second up on his sector 2 time. I think without a doubt, commentator's curse can't happen now. It's going to be pole 125.436, currently provisional pole, half a second faster than Jonathan Cox. Wow, what a lap! As we can see, Little Jim coming out onto a track. We've got a yellow flag. We've got iHarv is invalidated, so we won't follow that lap for him. I think this track is going to bring us a lot of time penalties for corner cut, and it is such a tight, bendy track. Catch too much of the curb and you're going to get a penalty, and possibly even worse, spin out. We can see FTK taking a bit too much curb there and invalidating his lap. So Paul Harrison staying out. Oh, nearly spinning it off. So we can see Short Marcus starting a lap. Is he starting a lap? Let's sit on board with his first sector and find out. Coming down to turns 2, the sharp left-hander, locking up a little bit there. Good line out coming into turn 3. And what are we looking at for sector 1? This is going to be an improvement of 0.2 of a second for short markers, which is going to put him in hunting range of Little Jim. See what he's able to do, going very wide, really trying to avoid that curb, not wanting to get too close to it, knowing how much you can pay Victim there. Oh, he's really pushing the cars to the absolute limit, having to bring it back from almost certain spinning. Whoa, that would have cost short Marcus some time, but at least he kept it on the track. And what is sector 2 going to bring out for him? Currently half 500ths of a second down, locking up into turn 13. Really seems to be struggling now. I don't see this is going to be as an improvement. Let's see, you've got Jonathan Cox out on a lap and Little Jim. So is short Marcus going to improve on his time? He's going to go, that is nope, not an improvement there from short Marcus. So we've got Jonathan Cox, he's now coming around to the end of sector 2. Let's see what Jonathan's able to produce here. Currently 2.22 seconds up on his fastest time. It's not going to be enough quite to beat Max. He's going to have to pull out something special here in sector 3. Has Jonathan got it in him? And I'm looking at the gap between 3rd and 8th right now, and it's nothing, it's 0.6 of a second. Jonathan Cox 0.3, just 0.3 of a second improvement, just 0.16 of a second down on Max. So let's get on with Jim as he's coming towards his last corner. It doesn't look like this is going to be an improvement in lap for him. No, but I'm sure he's going to go again, as we've got just 2 minutes left of qualifying. So let's sit on board with Little Jim for this lap. CDM getting out the way of his teammate, having just come out the pits. Is that going to have compromised him for his flying lap? No, it's not. It's going to be very tight. It's a 125 track, 106 left. I think CDM might have even compromised himself for that final flying lap, and it's going to see him right down in the pack. Little Jim invalidates and loses it out and retires from the session. So that is Little Jim outside of space. What is he doing? It doesn't look like it's going to be an improvement. No, but he will get one more lap. We've got Jonathan Cox. Is he on another lap? No, he is not. Is he going to go for one more after this? I think so. Yeah, a lot. And here we go. I'm gonna watch this lap. Max is also across the line. He was not waiting for Jonathan Cox. Let's see what the two guys do. They're right next to each other on track, and as I suspected, CDM did not leave himself enough time, and that is his quali over. So Jonathan Cox 68 thousandths of a second up on his time. Max 48 thousandths of a second up on his time. Who is going to get it? Who is going to be our pole sitter for the race here at Hungary in the OBF1 Friday Night Racing League? So Jonathan Cox coming up to the end of sector 2. Is he going to be improving on his current time? Down to a quarter of a second. Max 7 thousandths, so no improvements from either driver here, but still one sector to go. Will Jonathan be able to find the 0.4 of a second he needs? Or has Max got pole? As we see FTH go up to third, surpassing his teammate. Nope, Max is going to be starting in provisional pole position and still does go faster. So that is qualifying over, just waiting on one more driver now in KVD. So just waiting for the last drivers now to return back to their pit boxes, but the session is over, and that is it for qualifying. So we've got Max, no surprise, starting in first. We've got Jonathan Cox in second. I think the biggest surprise for me is a little Jim, who's going to be starting down in 6th position. He's going to have a bit of work to do to get past the Haas and the Racing Points to catch up and try and challenge Max. He is his closest challenger at the moment in the championship, so let's see if he's able to progress to give Max that well needed battle that we would all love to see. So we'll be shortly getting going with the race. We've got formation lap as always, and then I do believe 35 laps of the track. Let's see. And it is a dry race. I'm sure a lot of the drivers will be happy to see that. The skies are clear. It is a beautiful day in Budapest. Shortly we will be getting going with the formation lap. The drivers will just be locking in any changes they want to make to their setups. I do believe there are some factors like brake ratios, tyre pressure that you can change, and obviously they're going to be selecting their strategies as well. We'll wonder what they'll be going for. I do believe this can be done 2-stop, so this can be done 1-stop, but I think it is more recommended as a 2-stopper. So we'll get going. As we can see, hey, yep, so 1-stop more than possible with the mediums, and a change around lap 16 to 17 onto the hards. A 35 lap race indeed. And we will get going very shortly. So I'm just going to start loading up my data. Let's have a look at tyres for now. So we can see most of the drivers have chosen to start on a medium, so I presume they're opting to look for the 1-stop strategy. Short Marcus Martin and UFO have opted to start on the softs. Let's see how that pans out for all the drivers. Do I think we're going to see safety cars? Yes. So it could play into their hands, especially if they come around about the right time, and could possibly make the tyres last. Obviously all the drivers will be starting on fresh tyres. They're not got to worry about the tyre deck from quali, because obviously quali was a wet session. I'm looking at a very big difference here. Now if the front, I'm going to say 6 drivers. I can see there's a Williams there. Williams has really come up the field. Who is that? Chris or UFO? UFO, he's going to have a very long wait, currently riding along with the top 5, starting in 14th, and those around him are maybe 3 or 4 corners behind him. So some of these drivers are going to have a very long wait on the track as we head towards the final turns, but the last cars in Ghost Riddles and Callum are just starting the final sector. So we have got Max starting in first, Jonathan in second, FTH in third, I Harvey in fourth, Paul Harrison in the house in fifth, Little Jim in 6th, Cyberspace in 7th, Short Market in 8th, Martin in 9th, CDM in 10th. He's going to want to make up for that. Whoopsie, he made not leaving enough time to get out the pits. Kieran 11th, our debutant Checker Brothers in 12th, Chris in 13th, UFO in 14th, Rumax 15th, Broke Gorilla 16th, Golden Wolf 17th, KVD 18th, Callum 19th, and our debutant Ghost Riddles in 20th. So we're going to announce that I'm going to sit on board with 3rd place, and we will get going for these 35 laps here at the Ungaro Ring, round 12 of the OBF1 Racing League. 3, 4, 5 laps. And we go here at the Hungary ring. That's not a bad start there from FTH. He's got iHalf already right alongside him. Coming into turn 1. Looks like we've had some contact. iHalf losing places and slipping down the field. Who is that in first? I'm seeing a Red Bull in first. Is that Jonathan Cox now? I'm getting a bit of a Codemaster glitch. No, looks like Max. Max has already pulled out a commanding, I want to say 9/10 of a second lead over John, but I am getting a Codemaster's glitch. I'm seeing a racing point also coming through. I'm going to presume that to be FTK. Yep, short Marcus up to 4th already. Let's have a look at the position change, bearing in mind. Yep, let's have a look. We're going to look at intervals, then we're going to look at position change. Yep, so my short Marcus already up 4 places, CDM up 4 places, Little Jim up 1, UFO up 6 places from his start position at 14th. This is some fantastic driving from the guys. Our biggest loser so far would be Paul Harrison, having dropped from 5th to 10th. iHalf having lost 3 places from his starting position of 4th. But Max already pulling out an insane lead of 1.5 seconds over Jonathan Cox. And FTK's got short Marcus right on his rear tail. Well, short Marcus, who has got the soft tyres on, he's going to have to try and make something happen. She can't afford to be held up by these drivers on the slower tyres. Coming through turn 2. Coming up to turn 2, sorry. Little Jim getting past. Oh, and we got a bit of a lock up there. Seeing iHalf and Little Jim have both got past CDM. Now I'm thinking, was that a tactical move by CDM? Which then saw. No, I think CDM was behind Little Jim, and then iHalf got the position at the first corner, but Little Jim was right on short Marcus's tail. This is going to be an interesting battle. Little Jim second place in the championship, having joined late, giving Renault a really good shot as short Marcus gets a bit wide. Is he going to leave Jim the space? No, but there's no contact there through turn 10. Brilliant driving there by the 2 guys, but that has cost him time on FTK, who's now nearly a second ahead, and Jim will have got a warning there for track limits. And up to the last set, so short Marcus locking up as we are about to go into having DRS. Now I don't believe for these first 2 straights you were going to have any. Obviously the second straight is an extenuation of the first DRS zone. So we've got Jim getting on the ERS, he's going for it, he's got more speed out of the last turn and has made that move even before the turn. Great maneuver there by Jim, whose next target is FTH. So looking further down the field, we've got a bit of a train going on behind, and Little Jim seeing iHalf get a little bit wide there out of turn 3. And as we head down, sorry, yeah, the train would be actually behind, yeah, I would say Little Jim right now, who has just got past short Marcus, but all a DRS train all the way down from Little Jim, as we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. That looks like a Ferrari of Martin 69 who's come off, but that will just stay as a yellow flag, and Martin gets going there. Martin gets going again. Cool. So now we're already seeing drivers pick up penalties. iHalf has already picked up a 3-second penalty for track limits, as I suspected would happen. We've got KVD has already had to pit as well. I'm assuming there might have been contact started away for him, who's down in 20th, but hey, can only get better from here. I imagine he is going to want to still employ a 2-stop strategy. CDM starting to pull away from a UFO, an 8/10 of a second gap. Getting right on, starting to really close in on iHalf. Let's focus on this battle actually. Battle for 5th position. This could play big. Kudos in the championship. Renault and Racing Point only separated by about 25 points, I do believe, so every point is going to be vital for these teams of gargantuan drivers who are all very fast and we've got a lot of respect for each other on the track. Oh, well held there by CDM after collecting a bit too much curb going there into turn 7 and 8. but already Max 3 seconds ahead of Jonathan. Little Jim unable to close the gap onto FDK. I know he's going to want to just try and get in that DRS zone. But FTH is using a lot of his ERS. Jim has got 25% more ERS available to him. Let's see if he's able to make that utilised. Now I am still getting a Codemasters glitch telling me that Chuckle Brothers is actually 1 lap down, but he is actually running in 13th place, just behind Chris Amu, who's had some really impressive performances this last couple of races. So let's see if he's able to build on that and come back from where he currently is. So where we here, Martin 69 has picked up, being the second driver to pick up a 3-second track limits warning. I'm sure he will not be last. So what battles have we got going on track? We've got a good battle for the final points paying position between Kieran, recently promoted admin, and Cyberspace in the Ferrari, one of our drivers in the F1 OBF1 Invitational event last week against F1 Fast Life, which was a fantastic show from both leagues. So let's see how these guys are able to balance each other. Now it does look like they're catching up on Short Marcus. Short Marcus was up at one point around Little Jim in 4th, but he's either made a mistake or these soft tyres are dropping off very quickly. So you see Kieran had to take a little bit out of that turn. He's running very low on EOS, just 9% left, which is going to make him very vulnerable under DRS. He hasn't got it on Short Marcus, locking up into the last corner. And here we go, DRS open, ERS open. Kieran moves to the inside, not using his ERS though, is Cyberspace just maintaining it. And now gets back on it. Is he going to go for the inside? Yes, he is. Is he going to make it stick? Great move there. Great move there, but unfortunately Chris also tries to get the move done on Kieran and gets spun out. Will definitely be putting that. I think that will come down to a racing incident. So, yep, Cyberspace completing the manoeuvre on Kieran for the final points paying position of 10th, getting the Ferrari up there into the points, and will be a much needed point for the Ferrari going into the constructors battle. So who else have we got? Let's have a look for another battle. So Little Jim within inches of having DRS on FTH, but all of the top 4 lapping around very similar times. It looks like not much of a gap really developing between any of them, as we see Cyberspace pick up a 3-second penalty, and Martin 69 that has retired, looks like he's lost it there. And we have got a safety car. So who's going to be put in? Oh, very close there between Ghost Riddles and Golden Wolf, but neither choosing to pit. We got a lot of drivers heading for the pit. I am imagining that we're going to see it's going to be Delta Racing for the next lap. Obviously drivers having to keep within the 25%, the 40% speed restriction. So yeah, as the drivers pass the safety car now, we're going to have another lap to allow the front drivers to also get a chance to get in and get a pit stop done. So we are now on the safety cars, and this gives us a bit of a chance to take a break, but we will round off the top as we've got a second retirement of Chris Amu, who decided in the pits to retire. So 7 laps in for a safety car. We're currently seeing Max in first, Jonathan in second, FTH in third. No movement from the 3 drivers there. Little Jim up 2 places to 4th, iHarv in 5th, CDM in 6th, Paul Harris in 7th, Kieran in 8th, Golden Wolf in 9th, Ghost Riddles, our debutant in the Red Bull, in 10th, Short Marcus in 11th, Cyberspace in 12th, Wumax in 13th, Chuckle Brothers in 14th, Broke Gorilla in 15th, UFO in 16th, Callum in 17th, and KVD rounding off the pack in 17th. Interestingly enough, only one of the top 7 drivers choosing to pit. I'm quite surprised by that. I'm thinking maybe they've drivers are thinking, okay, let's see if we can make these tyres last long enough to then switch to the softs for the latter part of the race. Ghost Riddle's picking up a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane. Curse of the newbie. Oh, Max getting very close to a safety car then. So, okay, so we've got, let's have a look at the pits situation. So everyone, 10th and Dam has pitted, FTH has pitted in 8th, what has he pitted onto out of curiosity? He's pitted onto the hards. Most of the drivers who have pitted onto the hard side of space. Interestingly enough, it shows on fresh set of mediums, as has Callum Jones in 16th, for that maybe hoping to get their way through the course on those drivers who are running the harder tyres, but will they last all the way to the end of the session? I'm not sure. We will see. So this is second lap of safety car regs for the drivers. I imagine we'll have at least one more lap. We have still got drivers catching up the grid. There we have to do so at full pace. So I reckon one more lap and we will be good to go. I will be back in a moment, guys. Thank you. And oh my goodness, I thought this might happen. Max, our championship leader, has been disqualified for overtaking the safety car. Max has been disqualified. Our championship leader, sitting in first position, has overtaken the safety car and has been disqualified from the race. A disaster for the Haas driver. Wow, I mean, I've heard about those things happening. I've never seen it. That's just, wow. So, we have now got a new race leader, Jonathan Cox, Little Jim. What a fantastic opportunity here for the Renault, sitting in second and fourth, having to gain some points on the Haas drivers, with the championship leader in Max having just been disqualified for, yes, overtaking the safety car, pushing his limits just a bit too close and paying the price. As we now see, the safety car is in this lap, so Jonathan will become the de facto safety car here. He will get to choose when to go, or she will not be able to pass the safety car. As we've just seen, that might result in a disqualification. And we're now going to sit on board a Little Jim and wait to see when Jonathan drops the throttle. And we are racing again here at the Hungaroring, lap 10 of 35, and the battle for first is well and truly on between Jonathan, Little Jim and I have. Right on the back of Little Jim, there's barely a car's width between the three of them as they go into turn 2. I have carrying a bit more speed around the outside, but not being able to make a stick for a move past Little Jim as we head up towards the end of sector 1 and around to turn 4. 3 drivers already pulling away from CDM. CDM 7 tenths down. As we see, CDM has spun it. He's lost it around turn 6, and it's going to drop him down to 8th position. Unfortunate there for the Renault driver. So Paul Harrison now up to 4th in the Haas, but already 2 seconds behind. I have already out of DRS range, just 2/3 of 1 lap in. He's going to need to get a move on to ensure he doesn't have a DRS train behind him in Kieran, FTH side of space, and potentially Short Marcus. As we've got another retirement in the UFO in the Williams, seems he's lost it coming out of the, and we've got another safety car. Now we will again be under delta for a minimum of 1 lap, but we've now seen 11 laps. This will be lap 4 of safety cars. Both of the Williams drivers are out. We've also got the Ferrari Martin 69 who retired causing the first safety car, and of course Max, who was disqualified for overtaking the safety car. So the safety car is playing a big part in this race. We had 1 lap of racing there, not even a lap of racing before the next safety car was brought out. So let's see how. I'm going to be back in a few minutes, guys, and yeah, just going to give my voice a little bit of a break, still recovering from a bit of illness. So yep, I will be right back in a few minutes, guys. Please enjoy the coverage and stay tuned. Thank you. And we get going again with racing, just back in time, I do believe, gentlemen. And we've already got a yellow flag in sector 3. That's why it's Kieran has lost it coming out the final turn. But wow, I mean, what a change. So Little Jim and John are down to 7th and 9th respectively. Cyberspace is in 1st, FTH is in 2nd, Short Marcus in 3rd. Drivers taking that first stop, really paying dividends for them. Quite intrigued to see Ghost Riddles and I have on the soft tyres, and let's see how they work out for them. There will definitely be another pit stop required on the soft side. So you can see, wow, I mean, wow, I'm just looking and seeing the Alfa Romeo of Broke Gorilla in 6th. A fantastic achievement there. He chose perfect time for his pits, racing well, come through the field. Cyberspace doing a really good job to pull away. Both FTH and Short Marcus already 7/10 of a second up nearly on FTH, nearly 1.5 seconds up on Short Marcus. Womax up to 4th as well in the Alpha Tauri. Where did he come from? Wow, I really did miss it those couple of laps. So we're currently just started lap 14 of 35 here at the Hungary ring. We've seen some incredible action already, guys. Hope you're enjoying that. Let's have a look further down the field. So we've got Womax. Oh, I thought there was going to be a collision there. Is Womax going to be able to get the undercut? I think, yes, he has, but coming into turn 3, has Jonathan got the line? Is Jonathan going to... No, Rumax does sit in behind Jonathan, probably sensible not to try and go for a manoeuvre on turn 4 as we head up towards the end of the first sector. And yeah, Jonathan is now up to 4. How is Little Jim doing? Little Jim very eager to get past Broke Gorilla. Was that a slight nudge off the track there? I'm not sure, but Broke Gorilla does get it back on without losing any more additional places. So 2-second gap between Jim and Rumax, which Jim is going to want to close as quickly as possible, as we see iHub make a move on Paul Harrison and make it stick for 10th position. So funny enough, we're about to go into DRS enabled, and none of the top 7 drivers are within DRS range of each other, so it's not going to play much of an impact on the lead of this race. But I think Broke Gorilla is going to be the driver at risk, because he's got 4 drivers behind him, not on an immediate train, but all of whom will have DRS capabilities. So let's see. I don't believe yet these first 2 straights the DRS will not be activated because of the DRS activation zone being in sector 3 of the last lap. So but Little Jim already right on the back of Rumax, having gained 1.5 seconds on him through those through that last lap. Wow. I think it's going to be a question of Jim sitting patiently behind, waiting for the DRS zone, making the use of it, and then hopefully being able to catch up to Jonathan Cox, who is right on the back of Short Marcus as well. The gap between Jonathan and Little Jim, Jonathan and Short Marcus, is the same as Rumax and Little Jim. But FTH really getting his foot down, getting very close to the back of side of space, and will be within DRS range. So let's see. Yeah, no, Little Jim's not going to make the move there. Oh, lock up there from Short Marcus, and late break in from John Cox. That could have been a lethal connection, but here we go. FTH is going to have DRS. Turns it on. Is he going to use his EOS? No, he's not looking to utilise that as well. Looking to save it for a later day. Obviously, he will see that side of spaces on the medium tyres and be thinking, oh, they're going to last a little bit of a lock up there into turn 1, but getting on the early, still losing a bit of time. Side of space driving absolutely brilliant here in the Ferrari. Great driving by the Ferrari driver. Jonathan Cox does get past Short Marcus, and Little Jim does get past Rumax. There's no surprises there. The difference in raw pace and just DRS and EOS capabilities. Short Marcus, interestingly enough, still having 85% ERS. I'm surprised he didn't, forgive me for saying it, fight a bit more. So maybe he's saving it for the attack at the end of the lap, but he will need to keep within DRS range, and he's already out of it after just 1 sector. It's not easy to keep up with the likes of Jonathan. Jonathan definitely proven himself, and along with FTH, to be some of the faster drivers in our league. So let's see if he's able to close the gap on FTH. But this battle is shaping up now for 3rd place. We can also see iHub is getting right on the back of Broke Gorilla. But what is FTH going to be able to do here? Side of space running a bit wide through the final turn. That's going to give him a little bit more of a push out of it. And here we go. No real indentation made in the gap. FTH not really utilising the ERS as he could and maybe should. He's got 2 very fast drivers getting closer to him in John and Little Jim. Maybe does he want to try and get past side of space and put a bit of a gap between the 2 of them? You can see side of space has used all of his ERS to hold off. So I think we're going to see some differences this lap. I think we're going to start to see FTH really closing in on Cider. Cider, as we can see the flashing red light at the back of his car showing that he is out of ERS practically. So where other battles we got going on? I can see CDM really struggling. He's had to pit onto fresh medium, or he's chosen to pit onto fresh mediums, now down in 14th position. I'm imagining that would have been a forced pit stop because he was on the hards. So let's see what can FTH make here. What is side of space looking at? 16% compared to 77 for ERS. Side of space gets a little bit wide out of the penultimate turn. I think if there's not a better chance to get it, it's going to be now. However, side of space having so much more traction, it appears, out of that last turn. FTH, he's using his ERS, he thinks he's going to go for it. Is he going to the inside? Yes, he is. Boat, oh, okay. Good move there, good move there. There's a bit of contact, but nothing untoward. And side of space now down to second place. FTH up into third for the first time in the OBF1 Racing League. FTH, could this be his maiden victory? I'm not going to jinx it in the league, let's see. But side of space doing a great job here to keep up with him. Jonathan Cox, however, is getting within DRS range, and Little Jim getting within DRS range of Short Marcus. I can imagine very soon we're going to have a situation where Little Jim will be ahead of Short Marcus and looking to hunt down the top three. Question for me is, how long can Side of Space make these tyres work? Is he going to have to pit again? I guess only safety cars will be able to start that. However, let's sit on board. We're going to sit on board with Jonathan because we're going to have a nice view of our top three. Jonathan, FTH and Side of Space. Going through the final straights of lap 18 of 35, just over halfway through the Grand Prix now. And no changes there. However, we've now got the second DRS straight. I tend to find this one can make just as big, if not a bigger difference. Let's look at Little Jim. I don't think he's not going to make this move. Yeah, he's not going to be able to make the move yet. Short Marcus locking up, laying a bit of rubber down on the track with those hard tyres. Is Little Jim going to be able to capitalise on this? I think he's just going to sit behind, wait for Marcus to make a mistake. But yeah, nothing there yet. But Jonathan Cox right on the gearbox of Side of Space, just a tenth in it as they were coming into the chicane. Coming, and obviously the key thing here is you're going to lose so much more time by getting a penalty than you could ever potentially gain, as we see John there getting a little bit creative there with track limits. I'm not sure it would have been warning worthy because he was off the throttle, but who knows, he still is one of the few drivers without a warning. Oh, I thought there was going to be contact there. Now Side of Space out of DRS range of John of FTH. Very little ERS to defend with, and Jonathan now will have DRS on Side of Space, who's already used up his ERS. Johnny's going to go for it. He's going to move to the inside and completes the move even before the turn. Side of Space is going to go for the undercut, but is unable to make that happen, and that is John up to second place. Little Jim has got past Short Marcus, who is sticking to him now. He is sticking to him. Rumax holding on well in 6th. I have right behind him in 7th. Let's watch this one. We know how I have can be, especially when he's on the faster tyre. And was not expecting that. It really actually looked like Rumax just let I have pass, which okay if he did, but it's not exactly racing. So I have now very much up to 6th, 7 seconds behind Short Marcus, who is just within DRS range of Little Jim. So yeah, no, I was right, there is only one DRS, well 2 DRS straights in this, and that being straight 1 and straight 3, so yeah, it's cool. I have picking up a 3-second time penalty. We will have a look at time penalties later on in the race. However, right now let's stick with this battle for 4th place. Little Jim is starting to pull away. With how quickly, if will he be able to, well, he should be able to catch up to Side of Space. He's on 5 lap older medium tyres, so they will be starting to feel the wear. Little Jim on an 8 lap old hard tyres, so should still be feeling pretty good for Jim. Let's actually have a look at the gap to leader. I think this is going to be such a big race for trying to gain points with the disqualification of our championship leader back in the first safety car due to the fact that he overtook the safety car. So let's see what can our championship leaders, Short Marcus, Little Jim, I have be able to produce. Obviously, unfortunately, Chris Amut is already out, having had some amazing results in the last couple of weeks, but yep, is out of the Grand Prix. And CDM really struggling down in 14th position, having got a podium just on Wednesday in the Wednesday night racing is really seems to be struggling here at Hungary. So as you can see, we've got lots of penalties coming about. I think we've only got 6 drivers out of 16 without track, well, without penalties, presuming most of them will be track limit penalties. So I'm currently looking at the fastest lap situation. I'm quite surprised to see that it's actually, well, I believe it to be Kieran. 1:17.8. It may have been Max who said it, but obviously having been disqualified, his fastest lap will not show. However, currently right now it is Kieran. So 1:17.8. He does have some work to do to get up to a points paying position to make that count. I do believe we're looking at 25 seconds he needs to gain. So is it going to happen? You never know. There could be another safety car. I hope not. In sense of, I hope there is not another safety car. But anything is possible. Anything is possible. So with 13 laps here to go at the Hungary ring, I wouldn't put anything past the drivers. So I'm thinking iHalve's tyres are starting to wear off because Womack and Paul Harrison are both coming back at iHalve. As we saw the lap before, Womack pretty simply let iHalve pass him, as we see a very, wow, a fantastic move there by Paul Harrison around the outside of Womack, coming through that penultimate corner, not just getting the DRS, but also a fantastic move to move up, well, from 8th to 6th, having got past iHalve as well, who decided to pit. Like I said, did think his softs would struggle and had hit the end of their life. So Paul Harrison now up to 6th, making up for the points that they will be missing from Max. And another great performance here by Paul Harrison. It's so great to see the drivers who are coming into the league, starting off midfield and then getting themselves up there, challenging for these higher point positions week in, week out. It's just incredible to see. So with 12 laps to go, let's see if Paul can hold on, and who knows, maybe even start to catch up short Marcus, who is on 5 lap older hard tyres, and if Cyberspace can make his mediums last the additional 12 laps. If he does, I mean 27 laps on medium tyres even with 2 safety cars is incredible. So let's see if he can, but I'm not optimistic. So right, we've got Cyberspace and Little Gem. Let's sit on board with Little Gem. He's not got much DRS, he's not using it, but he has got a slip on Cyberspace, and he did have DRS and has made the move. Is it going to stick? Yeah, it does look so, but is Cyberspace going to fight back? He moves to the inside, thinks better of it, and settles there for 4th. A yellow flag in sector 2, that's the McLaren, I'm going to presume, of Kieran Rees. Yep, Kieran Rees seems to have come off around the bendy corners of, as we see Cyberspace pick up a 3-second penalty for track limits. So now Little Jim, he's got 11 laps to close the gap to Jonathan and FTH. Are they going to work together to avoid him being able to do so, or are they going to battle each other for the win? And Little Jim has that opportunity to close up now. As you can see, Little Jim already out of DRS range of Cyberspace. So what will become here, Cyberspace? Is he going to fall to short Marcus? I mean, 16 lap old mediums are going to be feeling the burn now. There's no doubt about it. These tyres are not designed to go for 15, like for 18, 20, 25 laps. They're going to be feeling the burn now. As you can see, Kieran in the pits for a new set of medium tyres, coming out in 16th place. So where we've got a, let's sit on board with the battle for first. Technically battle for first. See, iHalve has got past KBD up to 11th, Great Gorilla down the road in 10th. Will this be another points finish for the Alfa Romeo driver, 2 in 2 weeks? I know he's going to want to do his best to hold on to that, but he's gonna have to hold off iHalve, and he's going to have to do it. brilliantly. I have one of our faster drivers in the league. As we see CDM picking up a time penalty for track limits. So I'm going to move to the battle between IHAV and Broke Gorilla for the final points paying position. I have running a bit wide there, out of 10, 4, 5. Broke Gorilla losing a bit of traction there. IHAV's alongside him. Is he going to make the move? Thank you. I have completed the move on Broke Gorilla and yep, already pulled out a 9/10 of a second lead over Broke, who is going to come under pressure from KVD, and KVD on 5 lap pressure, hard tyres. So I have now up to 10th. He's got 10 seconds to gain to 9th. Let's see if he's able to do it. And as I say that, Callum Jones in 9th, pits in the Mercedes, so he will get that place up to 9th. And so he's going to be about 11 seconds, 13 seconds behind Choco Brothers, our debutant, in 8th position in the McLaren. A fantastic drive by the young man. Let's see how he can keep going for the last 10 laps of this race. Now I want to have a look at who our potential driver of the day is. Normally this does go to the driver who's gained the most positions, and I'm not surprised in that it right now looks like it could be Rumax. Having started in 15th position, has gained 8 places and is currently sitting in a very sturdy 7th position for the AlphaTauri team. So great drive so far by Rumax. Let's hope he can keep it up. Now I can see Jonathan Cox is right on the rear wing of his friend FTH. FTH out of DRS, sorry, out of ERS. But both of them still pulling away from Little Jim. That is the key thing. Little Jim is not catching up with the two guys. So they are pushing, and they are pushing hard. So it looks like they are working together and doing their best to keep Little Jim at bay. So with just 9 laps to go of this 35 lap here at the Hungaroring, which does look like it's getting slightly cloudy. Could we see some rain towards the end of this race? Who knows, but it is definitely getting darker than it was at the start of the race. So as I was saying, moving into the last 8, 9 laps of the race. We've got FTH in first, Jonathan Cox in second, Little Jim in third, Cider Space in fourth, as we see Jonathan Cox sliding there a bit through the penultimate turn. Cider Space in fourth, Short Marcus in fifth, Paul Harrison in sixth, Rumax is seventh, Choco Brothers in eighth, IHAV in ninth, and Broke Gorilla is up to 10th as the two guys go side by side, wheel to wheel. Some fantastic driving now. I can't believe the racing we're seeing as we come down towards turn 3. And they touch, and Jonathan Cox is spun out of the turn by FTH. That was unfortunate, but that really does now open him up to Little Jim. How far behind? Little Jim is within striking range, and those tyres are going to be burning. I think John is going to have a heck of a job now trying to hold off Little Jim for second. That was so unfortunate. I'm sure I will be hearing something about that in the instant report later, but that was such amazing wheel-to-wheel racing. It was such a shame it had to end like that. So let's see, what is Jim going to be able to hold on or get it within DRS range, I should say. Okay. Looking like CDM's race is going from bad to worse, having had to pit yet again. He's also received a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Now Little Jim was not able to hold the DRS range on John, and we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. One of the Red Bulls is moving slowly. That's not going to be Jonathan, so that is going to be our debutant Ghost Riddles. Not seen much of him in the race, but did see a very dignified moving out of the way for the race leader, something we are trying to promote in this league earlier. So when he was getting over that, so thank you for that. As we see, I have no surprise, fresh softs, end of the race, setting the fast lap of the way. As Little Jim, I thought he was going to lose it there, coming out of the sharp left-hander, sorry, sharp right-hander. But Jonathan already closing the gap to FTH. He wants another go at him. He's not going to just sit back and let his friend take this win. He's going for it. He's managed to get those tyres back to temperature, so he mustn't have got too much heat into them as he was spin around. And he is going for the win. He wants that win, I think. So I think we're going to see. I mean, he's already gained a second. Yeah, he's already gained over a second on his friend. Let's see if he can bring it back and give us a battle at the end of the race. I hope so. So have we got any decent battles on track? We've got a battle going on for 6th, sorry. We've got Rumax in 6th and Chuckle Brothers in 7th. Chuckle Brothers is going to be within direct range of Rumax, and iHub is in 8th as well, with Cider Space having just got past. And this looks like a battle that's going on right now. I don't think I want to watch this one actually. I think I'm going to watch this one because it's closer. So Cider Space, I'm thinking iHub must have made some sort of mistake there, but and he is going to have to start fuel saving. iHub is under fueled at the moment, so he's going to have to start fuel saving. Is this going to play into Cider Space's hand? He's driven a fantastic race, if I do say so myself. He's driven a fantastic race, and Jonathan Coxstar is going to play big on him if he doesn't manage to get the win, because he's just taken needing to get 4.6 seconds to 7.6 seconds. Unless FTH picks up a penalty as well, and it would have been well if I didn't, and he did, and I would have won it, as we saw so close on Wednesday with the penalty I have getting, costing him the victory at Great Britain in the AlphaTauri. So unfortunate for the driver. See it, and saying that, the AlphaTauri of KVD retires. Is this going to bring on? As we see CDM take fastest lap of the race, CDM has come in, put on a fresh set of tyres. Unfortunately, the retirement of KBD is not brought out of safety car. So let's see. 4 laps to go. 5 laps to go. Cider Space really pulling away from iHub. iHub pitting the gap. Does iHub have damage? He must have damage. As Cider Space sets the fastest lap. A 1:16 lap. Wow. Okay. So, let's focus on this battle, which I think Cider Space is going to be on in about a lap or so. And these two guys are struggling to catch up with Kieran, who is an overlap. And is just ahead of him on track. Okay. Right. And Little Jim just not being able to keep up with Jonathan. 2 second gap difference now. And what would you know it? Cider Space is screaming through this track. I mean, let's actually look at the penalty situation. As we see Chuckle Brothers running wide, but it's going to give Cider the move, and yep, completed. And a great, no challenge there from Chuckle Brothers. Let the place go. He knew he didn't have the line, so he didn't bother trying to be too aggressive with what we'd like to see here. Clean, fair rating. And what was I looking at? I wanted to look at penalties. Cider Space was 6 seconds penalties, which is what he needs to gain on Rumax now for 6th place. Is he going to do it? I think so. He's just got past him. He's got 4 laps to do this. He is currently the fastest driver on track. We see a yellow flag is set to. Is that Little Jim or CDM? That is CDM. Okay, CDM has retired from the Grand Prix. And no, we have got a safety car with 4 laps to go of this race. That is going to ruin this race for so many drivers. Who can we see? Chuckle Brothers. Let's get on to Chuckle Brothers. He's just coming around to the incident now, and it has just been cleared. No, I'm not. Yeah, that's a safety car. So, ouch. I don't know what to say. That is terrible. After such hard driving, this race is going to come down to one thing: penalties. And that is I don't know who I feel more sorry for, but there are so many drivers that I do feel sorry for. I'm hoping that this safety car doesn't catch up the leaders too much. I'm really hoping it doesn't, because we've only got 3 laps to go. You hate to see it as a commentator, you absolutely do. As with so few laps to go, there's been some amazing racing here tonight. You got drivers pitting, they're getting onto faster tyres, they want that fastest lap, if they even get a chance to set it. But the question is, is that a risky move? Because the thing is, the safety car ain't going to be out for 3 laps. It's not, because then it literally would leave 1 lap racing. I would not be surprised if we see the safety car pulling in this lap, and then we get 2 laps of racing, and bam. Let's see what happens. I don't believe the cars are currently under a delta. Let's have a look at the tyre situation. Yep, safety car is in this lap. We've had several drivers switch onto the soft tyres. FTH not wanting to give up his position. This is going to lead to a very exciting last lap, so let's now get on board with FTH, who will be taking Is Jonathan going to have to give that place back? No, he does not, and he does gain the race lead. Where is it? Okay, wow, I mean, I'm seeing Little Jim got a terrible restart. See, all the overlapped cars are ghosted, and we're seeing Little Jim is still in 3rd, but he's got side of space right on him. And I was right, I called it. There is a rain here right at the end of the Hungarian Grand Prix. I don't think it's going to affect the track enough in 2 laps, but Jonathan's got 3 seconds. He needs to pull out for the race win. He's got 2 laps to do it, and he's already got 2.5 seconds. I think right now I would say the driver I feel most sorry for is FTH. He raced brilliantly, he stayed out on the hard tyres, and now everyone is past him. He's already down 4.5 seconds in less than a lap on the guys who are on fresh softs. And this is just going to be a sprint to the finish line now for who gets the fastest lap and that additional point. But it does look like Jonathan Cox is going to potentially take his first race victory here in the OBF1 Friday Night Racing League. He's got to gain 2 tenths on Little Jim. Can he do it? We will see. Here comes the final lap. Interesting battle still going on for 6th position between Chuckle Brothers, Paul Harrison and Woomax. Woomax clear of penalties though. Paul Harrison getting past Woomax. Was there contact? Oh, Woomax has gone. Woomax has gone. It looked like there was contact between the 2 drivers before the takeout, but I definitely think I'm going to be seeing that in the incident report. So let's get back on with FTH now. He's still within range of side and short markers. He does not have a penalty, so a podium is more than on for him, but Jonathan Cox does have the 3 seconds he needs to win this race right now. Can he hold it is the question. Can he hold it? We're going to get on board with our track leader, and as he comes towards the final corner, it's too close to call. I don't want to call it until he's over the line and it's confirmed, but it does look like Jonathan Cox is going to take his maiden victory here in the OBF1 racing community by 4 tenths of a second to Little Jim. Short Marcus, FTH does take 3rd place, so still feel sorry for him. That safety car on lap 32 was an absolute, I'm not going to swear online, but I'm sure people know what B word I was about to use. However, that is how it rolls sometimes, unfortunately. And yeah, so we're looking at our provisional grid, obviously subject to incident reports, which will be opened right after the stream has finished. But Jonathan Cox has finished in first position, Little Jim second, FTH taking another great podium in third, Short Marcus in fourth, Cider Space in fifth, Paul Harrison in sixth, Debutant Chuckle Brothers in seventh, gaining a points finish from the McLaren team, Rumax in eighth. And shortly we will be heading towards the podium celebrations. You can see you've got another message on the live chat. So as we see Jonathan take the top step of the podium here for the OBF1 Friday Night Racing League. Well done there to the young man, pulled out an amazing gap over Little Jim and FTH to secure the win today after picking up that 3-second track limit penalty. So let's round it down again. So we got Jonathan in first, just 0.4 of a second ahead of Little Jim after the penalty was taken off, and then FTH in third, Short Marcus in fourth, Cider Space in fifth, Paul Harrison in sixth, Chuckle Brothers in seventh, Rumax in eighth, I Have in ninth, and Broke Gorilla in 10th. I am Pete W. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream tonight, and yeah, this is going to be me signing out. So have a fantastic evening, guys. Have a great weekend. If any of you are interested, we are doing a classics race tomorrow night, so please either message myself or Carl Hawkins, one of the other admins, and get your name down for it. Should be a lot of fun. So yep, this is Pete W signing out. Have a great night, everyone. Take care. Bye.